What's up, y'all? Jonathan Joyner here. I know you're used to seeing us in the race shop or at the racetrack. We're doing a little something different for Speed Weeks. Each night after the races, we're going to go live here on YouTube to talk about it, discuss it, debate, and interact with you all. We hope you join us and catch us live, but if not, we're going to upload the videos after the fact as well. And we're going to keep right on making our usual videos from the race shop and from the racetrack. Going to be a lot of content, a lot of fun. We hope you join us and we hope you enjoy it. They got to decide where their shock's legal and where it's not, I
Oh
guess.
boy. I-
Hmm,
So I'm
possibly.
okay. So I don't.
Are
I'm
we
not even
transitioning
sure.
now?
Yeah,
I think so. I think that was a transition.
Which series
Yeah.
is it, or
I
which
feel like
series is that shock legal, and which series is it not?
I need background info here because I was not aware of this until recently that there was an issue about a right rear shock or something that's new, or some people had and some people didn't. Is that what I'm understanding, or at least that's what people think is the case?
So what I know is there is a shock that Bilstein, however you say it, that came out with this year. That
This
is
week,
this well
last week.
it depends on who you
Who
ask.
you ask? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not this week. That we'll leave it at that. They might have posted about it this week, but it was been out for quite a while. And there's been a version of that shock from other shock manufacturers around for some time, but it's and I'm not a tech guy. Like I'm not, I don't know setup and all of that and shocks, but I know been told enough about this, in evaluating the rules and everything, that it's the through rod technology. That's the word you kept using. Is it's not a through rod shock, but it's through rod technology. I don't know enough. I'm not going to dive into that right now, but apparently it was a gray area in the rules. And when I say the rules, talking about the unified dirt late model car construction rules that um, for the past, I think, 2 years, pretty much everyone's been following. We followed it on the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series just to be in line with the sport, and it was a gray area apparently. And I'll just say apparently some people allowed it, some tours allowed it, and some didn't this year. And then it was this big, you know, uproar over is it going to be allowed or not. And it came out World of Outlaw. It came out Monday. I think the rules came out, and it's not allowed. So that's that.
So
You
the
know,
shock that Bilstein was advertising just last week or whenever it was, just the other day, is not legal. It's illegal.
it's illegal. The what they and this is, I mean, I haven't actually read the full rule book that just came out. I don't, so, and even if I did, it probably would go over my head, and I'm going to rely on our tech people to know that. But from talking to Steve Francis with the World of Outlaws, the shock is illegal, and it's not going to be allowed in the World of Outlaws. I would assume Lucas Oil. I hadn't seen what they're doing with their rules. I would assume they're following that same again, unified rules, and we'll do the same thing. But I think that kind of remains to be seen. But point being is it kind of, there was a lot of questions over it, and we got the answer on Monday when the rule book came out. And I don't know why. I don't know what they, again, enough about it, know what they changed. The made it where it can't just appear one way, but it's the actual what it is makes it, through rod, and that's why they make it illegal.
So are they going
Um,
to be taking right rear shocks off and inspecting
so
them closely? Because I've never. Have
that
y'all?
was the things what I was seeing on social media today when or as or here the last couple days as the rules or people were diving into the rules, and that's the question is, does this mean every race winner, or everyone in tech, part of the tech, we're checking droop, we're also taking off your right rear shock? I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about shocks to know. I mean, it's something, I'm gonna have to study up on and make sure our tech folks are studied up on. And that's what I worry about is, how enforceable is the rule? Is it a matter of now, like, the last thing we want to do is have to take apart a shock every
Yeah,
race,
we'll
right?
send your
Have to,
shock
or
back
have
to
to
you
pay to
next
send
week.
it off,
Yeah.
or
Yes.
like a tire sample. Like you have to
Yeah.
take their shock and send it to somebody that knows what they're looking at. Like you don't want it to come to that. I wouldn't imagine.
No, but at the same time, you don't want everyone to have to go spend, the $1,700 or $1,800, whatever's on that shot. But if you're going to run it, you're probably going to have at least one spare or two. And no one else, no one has these shocks right now. So you're telling people you got to go spend, a few $1,000s in shocks because of this new technology that previously wasn't allowed. So I understand why the people who are at the higher levels that want to, dictate the rules or not wanting it allowed, at least yet. Um, I don't know. I still have questions over how enforceable it is because if you don't want people who follow the rules to not do it because they know it's an illegal shock. But then some say, well, they're surely not going to check for route rear shocks every race. I'm a chance it, right? You don't want to go down
What's
that
the
road.
chances
So
they
I-
look
I-
after qualifying?
And I feel
Like
like
that
but
too,
people
yeah.
take those same chances with doing their tires. I feel like,
Yeah.
like
Here's a question that we can answer. What is Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series going to do?
We're gonna go
when
with the
that's
uniform
Talladega on Friday night for Tech.
Friday night?
March
what's Tech
15th.
going to be?
I think that's one benefit of starting our season later and not having starting at speed weeks or whatever. But we can see how this is being teched in by the Outlaws, by Lucas Oil, and see what they're doing, and get an idea. And also if we are dirt car again, which we'll have that decision here soon. We'll either way we'll probably lean on them a little bit to say, hey, how do we police this? How do we take this? And then we're going to do that to the best of our ability. We've I don't know. I can't answer that yet because I hadn't had enough time to dive into it and really look at it. But we're gonna, if it means we have to have an extra tech guy, we have to have an extra tech guy.
Yeah.
It's we got to figure it out, and every series does to be a legitimate series. And I feel like that's what's important, and what the approach we've tried to have with the series is we want to be in line with the national tours, so that a guy that's running with us, our regulars can go run. They don't have to do something different to go run a national tour. At the same time, we don't want a guy like Ricky Thornton Jr. or Bobby Pierce or Chris Madden that run the national tour to have to do a whole lot different to come run with us. We want it to be easy for them to come run with us because it helps our events.
Right.
So we just we're gonna do everything we can to be in line with that. And when guys, whether it's our regional guys that race with us every week or it's the national guys, racing with us, here and there when they can, we want them to feel like they're getting the same tech and the same treatment they would if they were at a Lucas Oil World of Outlaws race.
One more question about the shock. How does it save tires?
good
Like,
question.
when, I mean, that was the selling point, right? In the post, the Bilstein post is, but
I don't think. I think the theory is that it makes it makes it easier to not spin your tires and therefore burn them off as quickly. But I think ultimately we know
Well, yeah,
that's
but-
not enough to save. You're not saving any money on tires that way.
Yeah,
Like,
but
yeah.
if that's the case, that means you have more traction.
I'm gonna
Right.
say you just
Not-
more
if you're not
stuck.
spinning your tires, you have traction
So instead of buying a lot of 3 route rears, you're buying 4s,
and stuck.
and you're just stuck.
yeah.
And you're just-
I think that was what you call propaganda. Like getting ahead of the whenever. I mean, I've seen it. I have seen it whenever the post came out and people started posting about it being illegal. Well, that's money and more money in Hoosier pockets. The series directors are being paid by Hoosier. No, that's not the case. That's not saving enough money in tires to make it worth making everybody go out and buy more shocks. That's if it was, yeah, I think we would the powers that be that would be exploring that. I just don't think it at this juncture outweighed the whatever little bit of benefit you're going to get in saving tire wear, and it's not that much, I promise, is not going to outweigh making everybody go buy a new shock they don't already have. So
Yeah.
that was my take on it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what develops. If anything develops going forward with that. As of now, we have not ordered one of those fancy. At least I don't think, Joseph, unless you did it without mentioning, I don't think we have one of those shocks coming to the HTF race shop currently.